All right, guys, enough dilly-dallying around. Here's what we got here. Okay? Here's what we got here. Yesterday, I did my Hassan video, and I got a little bit of pushback. Nothing out of the ordinary. You know what I mean? But some people are like, you don't like Hassan. It's showing here, blah, blah, blah. All right. Fair enough. Let's engage. Apparently, there's a longer clip. So we're going to look at that. Like, that's it. Nothing crazy. Maybe there is something that I missed. And then I want to watch Asmongold's video too, because apparently he got some pushback. You know, maybe they got some good points. So this is this is apparently the clip that, I don't know, I guess his friend Mr. Lamb has gotten for us. This is the full clip. We watched 20 seconds of it, which starts here, which is apparently out of context. I'm just going to play it for you real quick.
Yes, a real job can be gruesome. A real job can make you very tired, but a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you. You know what I mean? In the same way that 9 hours of streaming absolutely will.
Okay. Yeah. Incredible.
So,
yeah, so that's pretty much all we had, and then this is the new one today. All right, so let's watch this. Let's get this one here. Oh, I got my face. My face is all over his face. That could be kind of attractive in another world, but that's not the world we're living in. So let's go.
No. Social battery wise, unless you're in retail, fucking retail.
Whoa, dude, the cursing.
It's very different. You're out of touch. I'm gonna die, dude.
He is out of touch. But
there's motherfuckers who are accountants in here, and they're misunderstanding what I'm saying. A real job does not expend your social battery in the same fucking way as someone who did a sales job, a real job. Okay, I'm telling you, as someone who did both, like 9 hours of constant performance and people pleasing taps you out from social scenarios. After 9 hours of that, I could probably do fucking physical labor. It would not bother me, but I can't fucking do more social shit. That's my point.
Yeah, okay. I agree with him. Like, he's not wrong about that. The biggest problem that I have, though, because he's right, like, going on stream, it's an interesting thing because I've talked to a lot of smaller creators too, and this is something I did at first. There's a performance that you're generally like feel like you have to like maintain. Hassan's not there, to be honest with you, though. He's not at the performance level. You could tell that he doesn't put on like a face. He doesn't put on an act. He's constantly letting himself rip through, so he doesn't get that argument. In a similar way where like I don't really have the performance anymore. A lot of gaming streamers, I think, have that performance where they're like, hey, guys. Oh, hey, guys, thanks for the sub. Thanks for the poop. Thanks for the Pete. Right? I would say it's more in those people. But, like, still, yeah, I kind of agree. There's times where I play video games offline, very rarely, that I could stream and I just don't want to because I like to be alone to myself. I get that. The problem that I have with Hassan here, though, and I don't know if I've heard anybody else say this, is that he doesn't have to stream for 9 hours. And that's the biggest part. And I feel like, I don't know if I've seen anybody explicitly say that, but I feel like everybody feels that way. But it's weird. Like, oh, hey guys, let's formulate an argument against this very entitled Twitch streamer who's consistently showing us that he is not relatable in any capacity to the average middle-class American. You know, when he's sitting here telling us that it's like, oh, well, it's only a $3 million house. And like, oh, I only live off of the bare necessities with this, like, however, hundreds of thousands of dollars car. And, oh, I have the, you know what I mean? Like, that's why he's getting so much of this dumpstering. But he doesn't have to do 9 hours of streaming. The problem is he decided he wanted to take that exclusivity contract. He doesn't need to. People who might say, no, that's how it is. You have to stream for 9 hours. No, you don't. The most successful streamers aren't streaming for like 9 hours. And I'm not even talking about Twitch. I'm talking about in general. Like I look at like the Daily Wire, like Ben Shapiro. What does he stream for 2 hours a day? He prepares a show, right? That's what I kind of do too. It's definitely not as prepared as his, but I come on for 3 to 4 hours a day. And like, I'm sitting here chatting with you guys. It's really cool. And then I get off after I'm done with my content. And if I do a 5 or a 6 hour day, like, yeah, I am a little drained. Absolutely. But I just choose to not do those typically, because I'm in control of myself. He doesn't need to do that. In fact, for like newer streamers, you especially shouldn't be doing that. You could come onto your stream with some topics prepared, do your topics 3 or 4 hours, maybe 5 sometimes. Sometimes I do a little long. if it's a long day, and then you get off. And then what I do when I get off is I do a little video editing. It's not super hard. Like, I'm pretty much just finding the stop and the start inside the stream, of like, oh, this starts at 25 minutes. This ends at an hour and a half. Boom, putting it in there, putting that in there, maybe censoring some curses in the first few minutes. Then I do the same thing for things that I do for TikTok format. It takes a little bit longer to render and stuff, or to edit down, because it's like different. You're done. I would say, I'd argue maybe 50% of my, or like a third of my time working is off stream, right? Does my voice hurt from yapping for a few hours? Honestly, no, it doesn't. Maybe sometimes, I don't know. And that's my problem. It wouldn't have a negative impact on him. He could come on and he could just decide to stream for 5 hours a day. He doesn't do his own video editing. He doesn't do any of his own stuff. He doesn't do his thumbnails, and it's not hard to do either. I do that too. It doesn't take like maybe 5 minutes a thumbnail. Like, very quick, easy bullshit. I don't even know 5 minutes. It takes he doesn't do any of that, so he could come on, he could stream 5 or 6 hours every single day, like 5 or 6 days a week, and then he could be done, and that's it. But he decided to take an exclusivity contract with Twitch for millions of dollars to make more money. He doesn't need to do that. He doesn't need to do that. He wants to do that. He won't lose popularity by not streaming all the time. His streams would actually probably be more entertaining, because like, you would have a higher chance of guaranteeing when you pop into his stream that there's something actually going on. Hey guys, I'm going to stream every day from 12 to 5. Done. And then you get off. But he doesn't do that. And that's what bothers me, is because if you work any other job, you don't get to usually set your own hours. You get to do that here. Like, I made upper middle class money last year. It was my worst year in the past 3 years, and I streamed 3 or 4 hours a day. Like, on average, I'll say 4. I might have worked 30 to 35 hours a week doing the extra stuff, and it's so much easier than anything else, because it's mostly rendering time. You know what I mean? And I understand that, like, the average job, people tend to work like 50% of the time at their job. I know that sounds weird, but like, I remember a statistic. People come in, they might dilly dally around, jerk off. I did the same thing in my old job. But like, he doesn't have the right to complain. He just doesn't, and he's so out of touch, and people are like, no, you're wrong. Actually, he's right. Like, yeah, he's right about the social battery, but he doesn't have to do it. But this is the thing, is he takes this exclusivity contract with Twitch, which he doesn't need to take, and then he consistently acts with bad behavior. That's the same argument he used when he would get up and walk away while other people's videos played. Well, I have to stream for 9 hours a day, so I need to entertain my chat, so I get to play people's videos and get up and walk away. Like, you did not have to do that. You could decide to stream on Twitch and YouTube and, I don't know, TikTok or whatever other platform at the same time for a few hours a day, however many hours, 4 or 5, and then you could get off and you could be done with it. But you don't do that, and that's your problem. That's your fault. Like, that's on you. So when he says that your social battery gets drained, he's right. But he gets to set his own schedule. He would still make $1 million a year streaming 4 or 5 hours a day. Oh, or maybe only 500,000. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? It's not the way to go nowadays. It's a common misconception that if you want to be a popular streamer, you have to stream for a long time every day. Back in the day, that's what people did. They came on and they streamed for a long time every day. Now there's so much other infrastructure that's really going to be there for you for your primary, money. The videos you put on YouTube, the clips that you put on TikTok or YouTube, Instagram, those things are more important. So if you have a steady time of like this time to this time and you're streaming here, people can tune in, or you could put your videos out, which I would say is the real money maker, at least for me, and you'd make a ton of money doing that. Your streams would be more entertaining streaming less. You'd have more time to yourself and to enjoy yourself. But this whole victim narrative, I'm just not into it. I just think it's stupid. He's part of like he has this thought, like, just stop taking the exclusivity contract with Twitch and you're done. And that's all you would need to do. That's it. So like, this is a 100% your problem. You could literally stop streaming right now and you would be set for life. Your life wouldn't change. He was making like $200,000 a month just on Twitch alone. And then you got YouTube, which he's making a good amount. He's probably making like a lot of money on Twitch too. Because again, I'm a 35,000 subscriber YouTube page that posts 2 videos a day that, like, on average, I would say maybe gets 8K views per video. So like, let's say I get 8,000 views. I have 250,000 watch hours in the past, like last month, in the past like 28 days rather. That gives me like, upper middle class income. Like, you, how much do you think he's pulling, like, watch time hour? You know what I mean? So Yeah, in complete fairness, if you want an international audience, the long hours would make sense. No, they wouldn't. Like, that's unrealistic. In complete fairness, the longer that you stream and the less the worse your attitude is, which Hassan's attitude is absolutely dog shit, the worse your streams are going to be. Like, there are, like, oh, well, in complete fairness, if you did this, you could get more people. Sure. And sometimes those things are just not realistic. I would argue that he's hit diminishing returns on his streams. His streams are not particularly entertaining because he's most of the time he's sitting there just jerking off, doing like nothing of importance or value. He's probably like, that's, if people were like, Hassan streamed for 4 hours today and it was all something to do, you'd like that a lot more than if Hassan streamed for 7 hours or 9 hours a day, and then like 40% of the stream was there was something to do. Because now you know, like when you come into my stream, and I know I'm still not streamer and all that, but when you come into my stream, like, you know, at least I'm going to be doing something. I'm not going to be sitting there jerking. Maybe I'm taking a piss real quick, but I'm going to be doing something. But Hassan's not like doing anything when you join his stream other than like scrolling through Twitter, looking for things to do so he can get as many clips up on YouTube as possible. He's drastically hit diminishing returns on the content that he's pumping out. And he is just miserable and he has a shit attitude. And that's like the problem is he's burning himself out. He has a shit attitude and he's not doing anything to change it. That's the thing. That's the problem. And what you would do is do less work. Okay, you're not a workaholic. I don't believe he's a workaholic. This is just what he thinks he has to do to maintain relevancy. Because as a content creator, I understand that too. Sometimes you feel like you have to be stuck into, I got to do this. This is just fundamentally how content creators' brains work. When I do this, I do well. If I do something else, I won't do well. I have to keep doing that thing. And oftentimes not making those changes is devastating for you in the long term. So like you know, people don't like Hassan because he's constantly having shitty emotional reactions and he's complaining and he's crying. He has no time to himself. Stream less. Stream less. That's all you need to do. Stream less. Like you might in the short term lose some money, but you still have more than enough. And you would, in the long term, just have a better attitude and people might tune into you more. So.
Like, there are obviously real jobs out there that are good comparisons. Service sector, people-pleasing jobs would be very similar. Those are, like, I think, customer service type shit. But, like, if you're an accountant or if you're even, like, in sales, my interactions with clients was limited. Way more limited than like constantly having to do this for 9 hours with like a back and forth interaction for 9 hours. That's what like sucks your social battery and you just tap out after it. Yeah, think about it this way. Like you give presentations for your job, right? Imagine giving a presentation for 9 hours straight. It's like after a while, you would be like, I don't want to talk ever again.
Okay. Yeah, I have no sympathy for Hassan. I don't care. Like I said, yes, the social battery gets drained, but you have a 100% control of how much you want to stream. That's just a fact of the matter, and that's it. Stream less. Stop taking these contracts with Twitch, and you'll be fine. That's literally all you would have to do. So, yeah, I am curious. I am curious about Asmongold's take here to see like what he agrees with. I feel like, I don't know, maybe he'll just say the same thing I'm saying. I just have no, I mean, like, I just feel like to all the people that are just like, oh, you know, you just don't like Hassan, you don't like Hassan. Yeah, of course I don't like Hassan. Like, I don't like at what point does it become biased to be unbiased? I know that sounds so stupid, but I've seen this guy constantly going on complaining, like delusional takes about constant like horrible delusional takes. He lets his chat harass his best friend Ethan. He's sitting there with a terrible take on Russia. He has like he's just, you know, he's sitting here watching other people's videos while he gets up and goes to the bathroom and justifying it because he has to work 9 hours. He's complaining about his social battery being drained even though he's 100% his own boss. It's like, at what point after seeing such bad behavior, like, why do I have to fence it and be like, well, why aren't you so nice to Hassan? He's an asshole. Like, what do you want me to tell you? Like, I think that my take just now was solid. That was as unbiased as you're going to get. But, like, forgetting the past several years of Hassan being shit just so that you can feel better about my take being a little nicer to the guy that you masturbate to. Like, that's weird. Like, you're being weird. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why don't you just stop sucking them off? It's not like I'm not jumping on the Hasan hate crew for fun. I don't care. Like, I have no problem making a take that you all disagree with. I don't give a shit. So, like, I don't have to have the take that, like, oh my God, Papa Gut, he's only doing this because everybody else hates Hasan. No, I'm not. If I agreed with Hasan, I would just agree, and I would still make money, bitch. I don't fucking care. People would just come in and they would complain and I would just get more views in that capacity. I don't care. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not riding a trend. Hasan he's a lol cow, and it's funny to make fun of him, and he's wrong a lot. And he's just an asshole. He's just a bad person. He has shit relationships with his friends, and like, he's a dick. So fuck you. You know what I mean?
Jimsy became a member.
Thank you so much for the membership, brother. Let's see Asmongold's take though.
I actually wasn't even planning on streaming today. I was like, I think I'm going to just take the day off. But I started reading Twitter. I was like, man, there's a lot of retards. Like, I gotta...
Whoa! Hey. I don't like that language, Asmongold. It's bad guy language.
Oh, we gotta talk about this. Millionaire streamer Hasan Piker claims that a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you in the same way that streaming will. And the funny thing about this,
and just to be clear, with that too, is that there are different aspects to the soul sucking of a regular job that we didn't even talk about. Like, I remember working a job where I worked 40 hours a week, and they would take, like, first of all, I didn't make as much money, which sucks. I had bosses that, you have conflicts with your bosses because you feel that they're out of touch in some capacity. They'll take away. I would have my benefits being taken away. They take away my vacation, take away this, take away that. And you're in a position where you have to just deal with it. Hasan's not in that position. He has so much more control over himself. That's another reason why people are frustrated, because they would trade their job for this anytime, and you would. There are stressors to this job that are like different from other jobs, absolutely. But you would trade your job for this job in a second. And then if you did this job for long enough, and you let yourself become terminally online and lose that perspective, then yeah, you'd act like Hasan. But Hasan has never worked a real job before in any real capacity while having like legitimate bills to pay. That's why he's not grounded in anything. He's the kid that was online that had never, like, he always had everything taken care of for him. So of course he's gonna act like this. Because he's not rooted in reality. He's not relatable.
Is that this kid goes and he says this to try to, like, fucking throw up a white flag. He's like, no, I'm actually on your side. I agree with them. Bro, quit the fucking capping. Like, this kid is lying.
What is he talking about?
You're lying. What do you mean you agree with his tweet when you preface it by saying millionaire streamer? You really think that we don't, like, you think I haven't
Why is he so angry?
spent the last 20 years seeing Fox News do this shit? Seeing CNN
what is he so angry for?
do this shit? He definitely is trying to roast the shit out of him. Like, what?
Based?
What are we talking about? What a little rat.
Sixth
Based?
became a member.
Hey, thank you so much for the membership.
I can't believe this.
I don't think these people would actually want his job. I think it takes a specific kind of person to do this job. I would say streaming is hard in its own way. It's all work. I could agree with the fact that streaming is difficult in its own way. That's true. And it's not for everybody in the sense that, like, not everybody's like a public speaker. I do understand that. I get what you're saying there. I still think his job it's just one of those things where there are people that, based on the way that they're born, a mixture between their being born and their environmental experiences make them good for a job. And just imagine that you were just luckily able to have that job that's like low effort, low barrier of entry, lazy ass job where you get to like make a lot of money and then complaining about it. You know what I mean? It's like if for some reason I had like a really good talent of just like I don't know, let's say I knew how to juggle, and for some reason juggling, like, and it's just a mixture between my natural talent from being born and life experiences, and I just like was juggling, and that made so much money. It's like good for me, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like sometimes you're just lucky to have the talent that is desired in society at the time, and it's like, oh cool, good for you, and it makes you like a ton of like just you do extraordinarily well. You know what I mean?
It's like this guy goes and farms a bunch of hate. My message to Hasan fans, get a job. but then he agrees with the tweet. What are you doing? What a little rat. This guy
What a little rat.
farms hate on Hassan. He gets 15 people from Hassan's chat saying, I don't agree with you. You took it out of context. And then he's got to make a follow-up tweet about it. Like, oh no, stop bullying
The
me.
right track with Hank Russo super chatted $4.99. $4.99 from the right track with Hank Russo. Genuinely my first time catching the stream.
Hey, thank you so much, brother.
Appreciate the consistent content. Fresh Papa Gut content is the perfect start to my morning every day.
I appreciate that, brother. I love you so much. I agree with Asmongold in the sense that, like, if you're gonna farm Hassan hate, don't play victim about it. You know what I mean? If you're gonna dumpster, justifiably dumpster Hassan, why do you even respect Hassan fans? Oh, Papa Gut, you're mean. I don't respect you. No, I do. That's it's one of the reasons I wanted to reevaluate my perspective and watch the whole clip, is because I get like pushback from people, and I like getting some healthy pushback of like, oh yeah, because even if I disagree with you, it keeps me enough in check that I come on and I can justify my original perspective on it, which I think I did decently.
He changed his mind because Destiny said he agrees with Hassan. TC Brady is in Destiny's Discord.
Oh, is that the case? Okay.
It's good to know that it wasn't really a principled stance. Let's listen to what Hassan says, and this is the clip that's...
Damn, all Destiny has to do is... I still agree with what I said. I mean, like, Destiny doesn't have to stream as much as he streams either. You know what I mean? Like, he could do his research off stream, but he's in the habit of doing it on stream, and that's cool. Like, you do you. But I have no, like, sympathy for rich people that are talking about their social battery when you could change your... You can change your flow. You know, if you want to complain about the fact that it's an inconsistent job, absolutely. Especially for smaller or medium-sized streamers. I would consider myself medium-sized, you know, I guess like income-wise. But when you're a rich streamer, I just like, what am I like? I don't care. Like, fuck off. You know what I mean? Like, you could Hassan could decide to just do video games all day, every day, and he would make enough money to like exist forever because he has so much money already.
It's taken apparently out of context, and we'll watch the full context in a minute. Okay.
Yes, a real job can be gruesome. A real job can make you very tired, but a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you. You know what I mean? In the same way that 9 hours of streaming absolutely will.
Okay.
So, okay.
Yes.
So that's the original clip, and there's apparently there's a clip here. It's a 2-minute clip, and so this is him explaining what actually was said.
No.
Okay, here we go.
No. Social battery wise, unless you're in retail,
What I'm curious about is like, what even led up to this point? Like, why was Hassan even crybabying about this? You know?
unless you're in fucking
I don't
retail,
know.
it's very different. You're out of touch. I'm gonna die, dude. There's motherfuckers who are accountants in here, and they're misunderstanding what I'm saying.
I can't believe if you're an accountant. I can't even believe that you're an accountant watching Hassan. I feel like most Hassan fans are just unemployed anyway.
Real job does not expend your social battery in the same fucking way as someone who did a sales job, a real job. Okay, I'm telling you, as someone who did both, like 9 hours of constant performance and people pleasing taps.
It's just funny because when you see Hassan, like, he doesn't even people please. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. Like, what people pleasing idea? My ass hurts bad from sitting down all day on this chair. There you go. That's my biggest struggle, dude.
You out from social scenarios. After 9 hours of that, I could probably do fucking physical labor. It would not bother me.
Okay.
But I can't fucking do more social shit. That's my point.
I'm the same way.
Okay. So, guys, you get streamless, guys. Just streamless, you know?
Like, there are obviously real jobs out there that are good comparisons. Service sector, people-pleasing jobs would be very similar.
Prostitutes, very similar.
Those are, like, I think, customer service type shit. But, like, if you're an accountant or if you're even, like, in sales, my interaction...
You know what makes you feel a little bit better, though, is that the customer service people get paid minimum wage. I don't know. Maybe these people just don't do it the right way, bro. My wife and I go on like weekend vacations every 2 or 3 months. Like, I take my computer on the road. I make my content. Like, I really like I like streaming. I enjoy coming on and talking to you guys, and that's great. But I also enjoy the fact that my main, like, from the way I do it, my main content is not my streaming. It is my video making. And like, that's so I can go for a week, I can leave for a while, and I can still put out some videos, and we're all good. And I come back to the stream, and it's like, okay, we're back to normal. You know what I mean? And I feel like these guys do that same thing. Like, I know that Asmongold does video games too, but it's like, you don't need the money. Stream less. You know what I mean? You're not going to fall off to the end of the world because you decided to take a week off to go on a vacation. Oh, I came back and there's less viewers. Who cares? Like people don't factor in their mental health when it comes to making content. Like, why aren't you doing that? Like, you're supposed to work to live. You're not supposed to, you know, that's it. And you're different from so many other people where I understand somebody that's like in a lawyer job or a job where they have like a legitimate boss where like, I feel like I have to keep working, blah, 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 blah. But you don't need to do that. So I don't care about your complaints. Like, you don't have to do what you're doing. You decide to do what you're doing in general.
Actions with clients was limited, way more limited than like constantly having to do this for 9 hours with like a back and forth interaction for 9 hours. That's what.
And I would even argue that, like, for the individual consuming your stream, like, how, like, it's so much diminishing returns. Like, I feel like it's easier to get somebody to sit down through your 3 or 4 hour stream every day than it is to get people to sit down through your fucking 7 or 8 hour stream. You know, like, they just would be more entertaining if you streamed less anyway.
That's what, like, sucks your social back.
Like, hey guys, I want to stream from this time to this time, and then if you want to watch the VOD after, you can, or I'll put up like videos of what I did. You know, maybe I'll have like an edited video of me playing a game today, or a let's play, or whatever, and you could watch that too, and you could see me talk. Because not everybody comes into the chat to interact. Some people are just here to chill. So I feel like a lot of you guys, like, you'd probably get a similar feeling if you just watched me not live too.
And you just tap out after it. Yeah, think about it this way. Like, you give presentations for your job, right?
I guess.
Imagine giving a presentation for 9 hours straight. It's like,
but that's not really what you're doing. It's not a presentation for that long. Like, it's just not. It's not a presentation for that long. You're not always on when you're streaming, and like Hassan's not always on. He's pretending that he's always on. You're not always on. You're coming in here and you're jerking off like a ton, and like. And I like, yeah, for sure. I understand why you'd be jerking off because you're, you know, whatever. You're bored. Let's be real. You're doing shit that you're bored of. Like, that's the bigger thing is we're pretending that it's like, oh, it's just because, oh, I'm talking all day. No, it's not. You're fucking bored. And if I come on a stream and I don't really have anything that's like super interesting and I get bored, I'm going to have a shittier attitude. Like, you're just fucking bored. Like, sometimes you're just bored.
After a while, you'd be like, I don't want to talk.
Or the department manager just occasionally is just like, hey, you suck, bitch. Bald ass bitch, you fell off, huh? Okay. We're gonna remember this in your performance review. You fat fuck.
Yeah, I get it. People say you fall off. I get that all the time, especially on TikTok. Like, because I got banned. Like, you hear it all the time. Like, it's annoying when you hear it, and like I complain about it. But like, dude, who cares about like the fucking little kid that said that you fell off? Like, just get over it. You guys don't even post your own content. Like, what is it? This is the problem. These people are addicted to the internet. You're on stream, you get off stream, and you're just looking at Twitter like the entire time tweeting. Like, set some boundaries. The problem is you have 30-year-old kids on the internet. Like, I'm a killer. I enjoy Asmongold. Seems like a decent guy. These two are, from my understanding, they're both like basically like they're about 30. They're roughly 30 years old with no significant other, just spending their entire life on the internet. Like, that's what it is. Like, go do something else with your life. Also, life is not supposed to just be about working. Go do more shit. Don't give me that. Well, no, I just have such a work ethic. You're playing fucking video games all day. Shut the fuck up. Have you guys like worked it? There are times in my life where I'd work 50 or 60 hours a week. Like, stop complaining. Don't give me that, like, I'm just a hard worker. No, you're not. I used to be now I'm not. I'm fucking lazy as shit. I don't care. I'm so lazy. I'm fucking, it's awesome. I'm so lazy. But dude, you know what I mean? That's the thing is that, like, I worked until I was pretty much, like, I was like 29 and then I was able to quit and do this. It's just like, you're go do something else with your life. Go find a fucking significant other. Spend some time developing relationships offline and like grounding yourself in reality instead of just sinking into the sea of terminally online behavior every single day more and more.
Stupid ass bitch.
Ever again.
So people getting mad. It's a bad take. What's it a bad take of? He says that he gets exhausted socially because he's talking to people for 9 hours a day. You really think that's not true?
It's just there's more to the equation. I've already explained like the other aspects of the equation and like throughout my whole video. That's the thing. Like, we're not looking at that. You're just ignoring that factor. Okay.
I mean, you really think it's not true that after you spend 9 hours being investigated by thousands of people
So just don't do that.
with every facial movement, everything you say, every word, with people constantly trying to disagree with you and fight with you. That's not.
Well, yeah, but your content, you're making content that's disagreeable anyway. Like Hassan and Asmongold both make like commentary content about things. Like no shit, people are gonna disagree with you. Like you're gonna have a disagreeable take to them. Like it's not. Oh, some people are gonna disagree. Like yes, it can be annoying when you have a lot of people weighing in on your stuff. Sure, but that's why you make money, because you have a lot of people weighing in on your stuff. Like it's like okay.
Emotionally, or sorry, like socially draining. This is totally understandable.
Yeah, no shit.
And he's not comparing it to every other job. He's saying compared to other jobs where you're not talking to people constantly. His take isn't broad enough. Yeah, it is. He explained it pretty clearly.
Yeah, you just forgot specifically about the fact that you guys are millionaires, and so you don't have to do it. You just decide to do it.
The clip out of context was posted 30 minutes after he said that. Instantly on Reddit, it blew up calling him a dumbass, which just reinforces his argument. Well, yeah, it's definitely understandable.
It doesn't really reinforce. His argument is that you have to put on a show for people. His argument isn't that he gets a pushback. What? How does it reinforce his argument? His argument is about how he... Okay, whatever.
Exactly. Just think nobody knows what's really socially draining. Well, not saying it isn't, but it's not as bad as others. I think that, like, so streaming as, like, a job...
It's so funny because some of the most socially draining and, like, really frustrating aspects of work is when you have these forced interactions which don't exist to the same degree in any capacity on the internet. Like, there's times where you have a really shitty worker and he just sucks and he performs poorly. The bosses know it and they don't fire him because of, like, you know, he's the union rep's son, or he's the this or he's the that. And you just have to deal with them every single day. Or, like, your boss is a real piece of shit and fucks with you, but like you can't prove it, or you do this or you do that. You know what I mean? Like that's socially draining. You know? Like I remember like listen, and again, I've had problems on the internet too where I've gotten like hate, but you also need to learn to set boundaries, because at the end of the day, a lot of the hate that you get is mostly gonna be about how you respond to it. But then there was times like my job where I was just so like I had so much anxiety, like I couldn't sleep. I was so frustrated and angry. I was having like vacation time stolen from me. Like, you know, they weren't paying me based on my years of service. It's like all this shit. Like, you don't have that fucking problem on YouTube. It's just like, it's so hard to communicate these things because like this is the thing, is that I feel like so many people disagreeing with Asmongold and Hassan, they work a real job. So like it's intuitive. It's just like understood these additional factors that can sometimes be very difficult to communicate to you guys. You know, like it's hard to articulate that because like how the fuck do you explain to somebody that you have to just work with somebody that's a real piece of shit? It's like, well, streamers disagree with each other. They don't have to work with each other. You don't have to. You physically have to in the real world work with people you do not like. Like, what's up, Ryan Beard? Papa, you haven't considered the stress of making sure to not leak your goon folder. That alone is more stressful than just That's true, dude. That's actually a good point. I forgot about my lolicon horsecock, my lollipony fucking deep dick folder. That's a good point. Does that make it into the video? That's what all this is being inspired by, is Vosh's folder was leaked and they're like, man, that could have been me too, dude. I feel like this guy fucking, what the heck? But they can't defend Vosh because, you know, that'll look too bad. So instead they're just going on this thing, dude.
Is extremely socially draining.
Did I die yet?
It is. That's why, like, there's a weird catch-22.
Yeah.
Where a lot of streamers are introverted, but being a streamer requires you to do a lot of things that extroverts want you to do.
So they're not introverted. What's happening is that their social battery is just drained because they're deciding to maintain the status quo that's unnecessary of streaming all day, every day, and then they're burning out. And so they don't have a lot of time for other people outside of work. Stream less. Like, stream less. It's not the same anymore. The platform, the way that you get yourself out there isn't by just being on all the time in case somebody looks at you. It's TikTok. It's Instagram. It's shorts content. It's video content. Like the landscape has changed, and it's so funny because here's the reality: is not only is Asmongold and Hassan, and again I like Asmongold, not only are they out of touch to the real world, they're out of touch to like what it means to be a successful streamer now. Like, again, they're more successful than me, but they have this concept of like, oh guys, you have to, like, in their head, I guarantee you they think you have to stream for like 10 hours a day to be successful. That's their problem. They don't understand that the landscape has changed. Organic growth like this doesn't really exist anymore. Like, you don't get big by just like streaming all day. You get big now by being on TikTok. That's it. And having videos available for people to watch. Hey guys, I stream from 12 to 4 every day, and then you have somebody putting up clips all like, oh, you got a couple clips a day. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, I want to go watch this guy. Oh, he's not on right now. Oh, I'll just go watch his YouTube videos. Those are really cool. I just binged his videos. I'm going to try to make it on when he's on tomorrow while I'm at work or while I'm doing this. Or I'll jack off to his voice. Like, it's not the same landscape anymore, and you guys think that it is. You guys are out of touch with the average person, and you're out of touch with so people like what it means to maintain success now. Like, you've been doing what you're doing, and it's working, but like it's not the optimal strategy. It's not necessary anymore, and you guys just don't understand that.
So, like, in order to be good at something, you have to be one way, and in order to cope with it, the success of being good at it, you have to be another way. And so that's what it is. Hassan's basically explaining that in a more...
And Hassan, again, is not taking into the factor that he's been a miserable piece of shit for the past, like, a year or so, because he's not, like, he has nothing outside of work. Go get a fucking girlfriend. Go, like, learn. That's the thing, is being in a relationship with somebody requires setting boundaries, and it requires compromise, listening to people, et cetera, that will change you. Being with a person will change you, for the good, or for better or for worse. If you find somebody and you put effort into that relationship, you're going to just be better at social interaction anyway, but you're going to be like a little bit of a different person. You know what I mean? Like, go do that. Go put time into your finding a person that you can be with. It'll have its own stress, but overall, it's going to be better for you, for your mental health, as you grow together and all this other shit, and it's going to shape you into a more rounded person instead of just sitting here all day. And like, you know, I think, listen, my house is a little dirty now too. My wife and I have been cleaning before this. But when it's a fucking meme that your house is so horribly disgusting, like, dude, that's embarrassing. You know what I mean? Like, my house isn't that bad, and I'm embarrassed. I don't want people over my house because of how dirty it is. But you got like all these memes of like, look at how dirty my house. It's just like, dude, that's so unhealthy. It's so unhealthy to exist in that atmosphere. There's just so many things.
Direct way, you could say.
He has a girlfriend. Okay, cool. How much time do you spend with her if you're doing this all the time?
A simpler way. And he's getting shit on. But a lot of people...
I'm pretty sure Hassan doesn't have a girlfriend.
...think they're introverted whenever they're actually extroverts. Well, I don't know about that. Did you start the stream? You went right into this? Yeah, because I fucking spent... I usually spend the first hour of my stream talking about nothing.
Curses
and like, then I don't, like, play video games until, like, it's midnight. Or like 5 hours into the stream, I didn't do anything. Like, we gotta get this shit done. Like, there's a lot of stuff to talk about today. I don't have time to fucking sit around and talk about, like, oh, I went live late today because my back hurt. Oh my god.
What?
Do we really need to hear about this again? Who the fuck cares?
What are you talking about?
So yeah. But yeah, we're not going to get into that again. Having streaming as a job's exhausting situation. Yeah, of course it is, right?
Okay.
Hassan is right. People are just reactionary. They absolutely are. Someone actually said, real job, what does that mean? A real job is a job that you have. Bullshit jobs are the ones that...
Oh, is Hassan dating Valkyrie? Okay, maybe I'm wrong about that. I just feel like these guys are so unbalanced. And also, if to that point too, there's a huge issue with dating a content creator as a content creator. That's another factor that people really need to consider. Okay, when you date somebody who's a content creator, it just maintains that terminally online behavior, and you don't ground yourself. There's so many times that I'll talk to my wife about something, and she's like, "This is not as important as you think it is," and then I realize, oh, it's not, because she's not terminally online, because she doesn't sit online all day and engage in online drama and bullshit. So, like, that's another aspect of it, too, is that if you're dating another content creator, it's like, oh, it's cool that they might understand, like, some of the things you're going through. But then also, in an online sphere, everything gets so hyperbolic, and you start to think that some of the things that don't matter more than they do. Like, it's really about, like, the lack of setting, like, productive boundaries. And part of that problem is dating people who are also on the internet. You know, if you want to just continue down the spiral of terminally online behavior, like, be my guest, but...
Other people have. It's just that simple. It's quite trendy and quite frankly easy to shit on Hassan. That's the crux of it all. Well, hey, if it's so easy to shit on him, then why are you making up fake reasons to do it? If he's got so many bad takes and he says all this stuff that's wrong, then why not focus on that rather than taking something that's totally understandable and then turning it into something that it's not?
Well, it's not totally understandable, but okay.
He makes thousands of dollars a day. Him making takes, trying to relate to normal working people is fucking stupid.
True.
Well, there are normal working people that also make thousands of dollars a day.
Wow, true that, brother.
So
just to be clear, there's no normal working person making thousands of dollars a day, because they wouldn't be considered a normal working person anymore. So let's just... Not true, but okay.
Like, I don't really understand, like, what your point is.
Okay. It says, dude, this is fucking terrible.
Yeah, I mean, what do you mean? It's a stupid comparison. Yeah, like what?
Okay.
Like, you think streamer is the only job that you can make a lot of money in?
No, but it's not a normal job. If you make $1,000 a day at any job, you are no longer a normal working class person. You are like fucking rich.
I have tons of friends that make tons of money.
No shit, you're rich. Of course you're going to gravitate towards rich people.
And a lot of them aren't streamers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, what do you mean? Like, that's, yeah, what the
Like, it's funny because if it wasn't a rich streamer and it was just a rich person complaining at school about how their dad wouldn't give them their credit card, we would all laugh at that person. That's, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I have friends that also make $1 million. They're the average working class. What is average? What are you talking about?
fuck? No.
What the fuck?
Chatter can't think past two. Exactly.
It's the worst thing too, because you got your chat agreeing with you too. Oh my god, dude! This is the thing: is that like I like to listen to I call it customer feedback, guys. I like to listen to my fans and people who have viewers on their feedback. But the person whose feedback I listen to the most is going to be my wife's, and like she will oftentimes tell me that something is fucking stupid. I was like, oh, okay. It kind of sucks. Yeah, like that's the thing, and that's a fundamental thing all creators need. You need somebody to ground you, to be a good content creator. If you want to be like a relatable content creator, I guess, you know, if that's not your goal, then whatever. It can, and for me, it's my wife. Some people, it's gonna be like a parent. It could be a good friend, but it really, as a content creator, it's probably not a good idea to have your grounding from another internet guy. Because they don't have because they are going through the same terminally the online behavior, bro, is crazy. Like you start to think that dumb shit that does like starts to matter that really doesn't matter. Like it for real.
They're not normal anymore. Well, I think that is normal as in like they don't work in entertainment. Right? They don't work in entertainment.
What?
Why do people assume that money solves all your issues and doesn't drain you?
Money does solve the overwhelming majority of your issues. Just to be clear. Okay. I listen, I understand that I know we've heard more money, more problems. I'd say the biggest issue is when you're trying to find a relationship with somebody and when you have a lot of money, because sometimes they might just be in it for the money, and I get that. But money will solve 99.9% of every person's issue that ever exists that's in this chat, that's anything. If you were making $10,000 more a month, your life would be golden. Would you have other problems? Sure, cancer happens, but you'd be fucking deuces, baby. So like this, dude, I feel like it's like a downplay of so people just kind of assume money will solve it solves most of your problems until your problems go away because you have money, so now your problems become fucking pedantic as shit.
Well, hey, Kanye West said it. He said that they're I was gonna make a joke, but I figured actually, you know what? We'll give that another 6 months before I make those jokes. He said
okay.
Having money isn't everything, but not having it is.
Okay.
I think that's really the truth, right? That's it. So like if you don't have money, that's everything in your life. If you do have money, you realize that there are other problems in life that are also important.
That don't matter as much as not having money, though.
But if you don't have that, money is going to mean more to you than almost anything else.
Okay. So, like, if 10% of your problems are non-money related, and you've satisfied the 90% of the problems that are, then what you're saying is, like, now you have time to focus on shit that doesn't really matter. I don't know. When did these guys get rich? Because I feel like not going through, and I'm not talking about Kanye, I'm talking about Asmongold and so on. Like, if you didn't go through your struggle phase, then you just have no grounding into reality.
So, yeah. Streamer doesn't make a lot of money when you actually normalize the salary. Engineers, doctors, people in trades make median more than a streamer.
What?
Streaming is extremely top-heavy. Well, of course it is. And
yeah, but they're the top-heavy.
There are a lot of people that are grinding away, and they
but you're not those people.
Stream 8 hours a day.
You're stupid if you stream. Just to be clear, if you're a new creator and you're struggling to take off and you're streaming 8 hours a day, you're hurting yourself. If you're a new streamer, if you're any streamer, I think this is it. You shouldn't be streaming more than 4 hours a day. Just think someone's complaints because they have money is kind of dumb. No, it's not. You're dumb. I don't really care what you have to say, to be honest with you. Money solves the majority of problems. Okay, I don't give a shit. Okay, bro, if you're a streamer and you're streaming more than 4 hours a day, like you literally don't want to be famous. You don't want to be popular, rather. You don't want to make money because like there's no reason to stream more than 4 hours a day. Okay, you are going to be unentertaining. You're going to hate it. Stream for 4 hours a day and then put another 2 hours a day into making like offline content, clips and videos, etc., etc. That's That's how you make it. You don't make it by streaming all day. You make it by having content that people can look at their own convenience, because there's going to be different types of people that consume your content, like long form YouTube videos, and then short type videos that are going to plug you.
And they get, let's say, 300 viewers, 500 viewers. They make $100,000 a year. Let's be very, very optimistic here.
Okay.
They make $100,000 a year, and like, I'll be real. If somebody was making that much money and, you know, like, it was like, is this really a good idea for you to do this? Probably not. $100,000 is still a lot. It is a lot, but whenever you think about the fact that streaming is just so transient, like, for example,
so make longer form video content.
You can get banned.
Like, yes, okay, this is the problem, is now he's absorbing the struggles of the burnout, which Hassan specifically doesn't get to complain about, because these guys get to make completely their own schedules. And now he's pulling in like medium or smaller size streamers. You don't have the same issue as they do. You can stream less. You all should be streaming less. Like, last year was the worst year that I had in 3 fucking years, and I made $70,000 on a 30,000 viewer YouTube channel. Okay, doing React content. Like, you know what I mean? People, you just have to make consistent content people can fucking binge. I don't know what to tell you. Like, like, what are you talking about?
Oh, well, now you're banned. Now what? Like, all of your job
go get a real job
experience, everything that you did, like, it's completely different. Like, you have like a 3 year.
You don't have to deal with this struggle, though. We're talking like specifically about Hassan and you.
Your gap in employment. You have like this online presence that, you know, creates a context in which people see.
Him being a millionaire has everything to do with this take. Has everything to do with this take. You get to set your own schedule. If you're a millionaire, you don't have to worry about the ban aspect, because you're set for life. Of course it has everything to do with everything. If I had a millionaire friend who lost his job just now, who lost his job just now, I'd be like, oh, that sucks, but he has millions of dollars to float it. What are you talking about? How does it have nothing to do with anything? Like, what I find so fucking interesting here is this, and listen, I'm going to be absolutely real with you, okay? Here's the dynamic that we're engaging in, okay? It's Hassan versus Papa Gut. Papa Gut, the guy who worked a career job for a fucking decade, versus Hassan, who's always had everything plugged for him very easily in his streaming career. He had his fucking uncle from the Young Turks set him up. He had Destiny to help set him up. He's always had everything effectively, to an extent, handed to him. And you're like, no, Papa Gut, you don't get it, because you're the successful. I've been doing this for 3 years and change, financially viable. Like, I have an objectively better understanding of the landscape than you do, but I also have understanding of the landscape of actually having to work a job. So, like, that's just where I'm at. Like, I get working a real job, getting your ass kicked, and I also understand the streaming. If I was rich, there'd be even less struggle. What are you talking about? Oh, well, more people are mean to me, though, because there's more people watching you. Yeah, that means that more people are nice to you, too. What do you want me to tell you? Oh, stop acting like a miserable fuck because because you stream all day. Stream less. Stream less. Stream less. You can do it. You can literally stream less. You set your own hours. Like, change your content strategy if you're miserable. It's not as easy for another person. Another person going through the same shit is like, oh, my job sucks. Go get a new job. It's not really that practical for everybody. Sometimes it can be, but not really always practical. You know, there's so many different factors. Those factors don't exist when you're a millionaire streamer. Stream less. Change your content strategy. I'm not wrong. Okay? You're gay. That's all I have to say. You're so wrong. What does any of that have to do with him complaining about streaming being draining? Objectively, socially draining? Because you're focusing on the social draining aspect of it because you're interacting for 9 hours. If you stream 4 or 5 hours, you wouldn't be as drained. I don't know if this is let's check this out. All right, let's say you have a cup full of water and you drank it for 2 seconds, right? You would take about this much water out of it. But let's say you did it for 4 seconds and now it's too much water. What do you do? Oh, you probably want to drink it for 6 seconds. What are you talking about? You just drink it for 2 seconds. That's what I'm saying. No, he won't lose his audience. You're an idiot. You're a dumb... Oh, dude, you're trolling me at this point. You're a fucking moron. The audience isn't going to go away. His content is he's miserable and crying all fucking day because he's socially burnt out every single day. Okay, if he streamed less, that means that his content will be more enjoyable, and he still has YouTube videos or some kind of a long-term video service that other people can watch the takes, and he has a shorter form content that people can engage into. That's the reality. This concept in your stinky little brain that like you're gonna fall off if you stream in a more realistic capacity is so terminally online. You don't get, like, it's not even terminally online. You just don't get it because like you don't, like, you're not a streamer. You don't understand the landscape. These are legacy streamers who used to, like, they think you have to stream for 8 hours a day. Everything's changed. The landscape has changed drastically. It's changed drastically. Look at some of the most popular content creators. Look at like everybody in the Daily Wire who streams for like an hour or two. They prepare content and they go on. It's a little different, but it's kind of the same. Look at like Ethan Klein. He prepares content and he goes on for a little bit. I've done phenomenally well streaming for 3 or 4 hours a day, preparing content and coming online. It's not, they just don't want to change because they're so afraid that like a little change will devastate them, but they have the money to float it. These are people who are so successful that they're afraid of change because they were doing really well. Make a change, shift with the platform. It's the same people who complain that like now you have to start making YouTube shorts in order to maintain in the space. Yeah, evolve, shift, change, do something different. It's like the most brain dead fucking take that I have, and it's like why are we even debating it? Stream less. They're not factoring in like their enjoyment of it. You're miserable all day, so your content is like taking a hit because you hate it. So what should you do? Stream more? Stream less. Make your stream is less entertaining. If like think about it. Like let's say you're gonna tune in for 8 hours, and like because it's so long, the guy's sitting there doing this, or he's pooping and peeing constantly, or getting food and just sitting there. That's not entertaining. If you have a shorter stream where there's like less of these breaks in it and it's more like, okay, we're going to go from topic to topic to topic. You have a higher chance when you guarantee you pop in, oh, something's going to be happening that will entertain me. There's an exponentially higher chance of entertainment when you do a shorter stream. There's a diminishing returns to streaming on these 9-hour days. Stop taking the exclusivity contracts. Stop. Like it's such a debate. Like it's so crazy. It's crazy how like simple it is. They will not drastically fall off. And even if they took a short-term hit, overall, they're going to have more longevity because they're going to have they're going to have a better relationship with their content. That's the reality. Okay? You want to have more social interaction? Stop streaming all day. Save some of that battery for outside work things. Because you're going to have, when you have things that are de-stressors, decompressing moments in your life, it makes everything else in your life better. And when you have a job that's like you're supposed to entertain and kind of be on more often, being happier will have a positive impact on that.
Collins Cruel super chatted $4.99. $4.99 from Collins Cruel. Sorry if you already covered this and I missed it, but do you plan on catching up with the Chris Chan documentary? Part 84 dropped the other day. THX cut.
I don't know, man. I'm a little burnt out on that. I don't want to have a Hassan moment. You know what I mean? I maybe one day, but right now I'm taking a pretty extended break from that Chris Chan documentary reaction.
So
what are the?
Yeah, you can get fired. Exactly. No, yeah, you definitely can get fired. But the difference is that, like, streaming. There are jobs that exist in entertainment that streaming helps you understand and learn. That's definitely true. But at the same time, there are also a lot of people, and I think in most traditional jobs, those people don't really have the same opportunities. It's like, for example, if you work as an accountant and you get fired from one place, it's not going to be as hard to get another job as an accountant. Versus if you work on Twitch and you stream on Twitch, you get banned on Twitch, it's probably going to be a lot harder for you to transition over to YouTube or Kick.
Sure, but it's doable. I mean, what did you get canceled for? It's so hard to get so permanently canceled for things. It really is. I mean, it's going to be an attitude that's like, if anything, you could argue that Hassan is slowly like killing his own brand. Sure, I got banned off of TikTok. I'm still here. Like, a lot of it is the way that you mentally interact with it. And the best thing the thing that's been best for my mental health when it comes to making my content and like staying around for like, and again, I'm only been here for 3 years, but I feel like that's pretty good at kind of considering the landscape, is just always being prepared to get a real job. Like, that's a big thing for me. Like, I'm always ready to, like, okay, I'll go back to work if I have to, you know?
That's my point, right? There's negative externalities if a streamer wants to get a real job. Yeah, of course. And so it's really not that complicated. But anyway, yeah, so Hassan said this today, and naturally everybody is congratulating themselves about, here's a dumbass clip, Hassan being welcomed into the emo community. Oh, yeah, I did. Oh, yeah, he did the emo. I saw that with that Johnny guy. I looked at that earlier. And so there's a lot of people. Streaming is literally the easiest part of being a content creator. You just sit down, make money, just spawns in. It's just so goddamn free. Who is this guy? Does he stream? Yeah, 400 viewers.
That's pretty good. 400 viewers is a lot of viewers.
Streaming is easy. Being good at streaming is hard.
I just disagree. This is the thing, is like, there's people that have an affinity for streaming, but like at what point do we just understand that? It's not really that hard. It's really not. Like, it's hard to be the kind of person that might be good at streaming. I get that, you know, to take in all the, but once you're at that point, and if you're successful like Asmongold Hassan, you're at that point, it's not really that hard anymore. Okay.
Hopefully now
you should have a good flow.
Understands. I understand. Obviously, there's a lot of people. Bad take. No, isn't 400 viewers good? Oh, it's definitely good. But you're not going to go and tell somebody who's one of the top streamers on the entire platform that it's easy.
Yeah, you would, because your job is easier because you make more money. What do you mean? What the fuck are you talking about?
Do you really think that Hassan's experience and this random's experience is going to be the same streaming?
No, Hassan makes more money. Like, what's the, you know, everything aside, if you're in the chat, tell me what makes it harder as a bigger streamer than a smaller streamer. Okay, the amount of attention you get. That's the only difference. The amount of attention that you get. Right? So what that means is, like, yeah, when you have a bad take, people are going to shit on you more. Absolutely. And you can complain about that. It can be frustrating. I get it. I totally get it. I've been there. I had 2.5 million fucking TikTok followers. I got dumpstered. All right? And you know what? Some of it was justifiable. Let's be real. Okay? But at the same time, that attention nets you tremendously more money. A tremendous amount of increased money. You know? And that's cool. Like, sitting there and being like, yeah, it sucks, man. Sometimes being popular kind of sucks because you get more hate, you know, when you have a bad take or whatever. Sure, I get that, but we're having this like conversational comparison to real jobs, and like, again, Hassan's issues are avoidable. We're specifically talking about the social battery aspect of it, and now we're on to like new conversations for whatever reason. He can work less. And like, I think that after like a 6 month to a year adjustment, he would probably make the same amount, if not more money.
That's insane. Of course 400 viewers is good. But don't go talk to somebody who gets 20,000 regularly and act like you're on the same level, because you're not. All streamers have some kind of cope. Well, what's the cope here? I mean, I'm not really sure if I'm understanding this. You say people disagree with his take on the whole job thing, made up fake reason to shit on him for it. When you added...
Like, yeah, again, you get more attention that can be negative, but then also you have more peace of mind that, like, even if you are canceled or whatever, you still make a tremendous amount of money. So, like, you have enough money to retire for life.
A word to his take socially, it does a lot of heavy lifting, unless I miss some context, kind of disingenuous.
Yes, and it's also funny, too, because, like, we're all React streamers, too. So it makes it even, like, it's different if you're somebody who's a video essayist that comes in and puts, like, your heart and soul into a video for, like, a month, and then you produce something that doesn't do well. And it's like, oh, that sucks. Like, that's hard. That's fucking beats the shit out of you. That's like mentally draining for another month. But then you're like the streamer that just like, oh, my video didn't do well. I guess I'll just react to one that people, one that's going to be more interesting. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, cool. Like, that's fucking crazy, man. You know what I mean? It's becoming a millionaire from streaming. That means you can never complain about it again. You can complain all you want. But like, you're going to get criticism. That's what it's like to be a public figure. Anytime you complain about something, you're going to get criticism. If you don't want people to criticize you, then don't talk about stuff on the. Like, don't vent to your fucking fans on the internet. Set a boundary. Vent to somebody in the real world. Vent to your girlfriend. Cry and complain to your fucking girlfriend about stuff, or just be ready for the issue. Like, you guys have this idea that like you have to always be able to vent on the internet. No, you don't. Like, you can just not complain about stuff that you decide to. I complain about shit all the time. Like, but like, if you criticize me for it, like, okay, that's my life, man. Like, I decided to talk about it. Like, set the boundary. Don't talk about how hard it is to do something, even though you could easily fix the problem just by streaming less.
Anyways? Well, he's talking about socially. Like, the reason why I'm saying
If you get banned off Twitch, you can go to another platform with your followers. If you get fired from a job, your life is on hold for at least a week. Yeah, I mean, that's actually true, too. It can be harder to get a new job. Oh, you get fired as an accountant. Like, actually, why didn't I push back on this? Holy fuck. If you get fired as an accountant, like, you realize that you have to write down references, right? Why did I not, like, say anything about this? Holy shit. If you get fired as an accountant he referenced before, if you get fired and, like, why'd you get fired? But they're going to call your next accountant job is going to fucking call you. You're going to call them and be like, hey, what happened? Why'd you get fired? Oh, yeah. What are you talking about? It's still going to be like a negative experience. What are you talking about?
that
And nowadays, there's so many more. There's more alternatives. I can't go on Twitch. Go on YouTube. Go on Kick. Go on Rumble. YouTube, I think, is great. You can stream on TikTok. It's actually reasonably viable. Like, there's so much variety nowadays. Like, what are you talking about?
is because that's what he's saying. So, for example, like, if I listen to the clip, right? Like, you just listen to the first few seconds of the clip.
No. Social battery wise, unless you're in
Yeah, let's do it.
So, I'm not using the word. I listen to the clip. That's all. It's not hard.
Okay.
I think most people made up their mind on something like this before they listened to it.
Okay.
So, whenever they have to hear context that makes their original assumption wrong, they're getting mad at me.
Okay. Again, the biggest criticism is you just don't have to stream 9 hours a day, and they decide to take these exclusivity contracts despite the fact that they're rich. They have more control over the way that they work than anybody else does, and they still decide to work this way. I have no sympathy for these people. I don't care.
That's the problem. Exactly.
And like a week being out of work is like not even realistic. You're probably out of work for like a month if you lose your job. Like, it's not that easy. And like, if you get fired.
It's like a supermodel saying they have a harder job than a catalog model. Well, I'm not really sure. Hassan's an artist. His father's famous for being a young tourist. Everybody always has their opinion about Hassan.
Okay. Yeah, no shit.
And I understand that you might not like things that Hassan has said on his stream. There are things that he might have said that have upset you, that have made you mad, that you don't like.
The problem is that he consistently has takes that do not ground him as like a normal person, like a normal, relatable person, and when he tries to be. So of course people are going to go in on him for this shit.
Why not focus on the real ones? Why are you inventing things that didn't happen and then getting mad about them? It makes you look stupid. If you have all of these problems with somebody, then it doesn't seem very legitimate whenever you have to make up new problems that don't actually exist.
Okay. I mean,
that's what my opinion is.
But okay.
They're soft. Yes. The guys are making what's this here? A career. These guys making a career of being bitter. Isn't that pathetic? Oh yeah, absolutely. The area of conversation with politics is more draining than some other types of streaming.
So you would turn down an exclusivity contract if I was offered to you? Yes. Even if it made me a millionaire? Yes. Yeah. Of course I would. Like, you have this idea in your head that's like, I don't know, you must be like 13. I don't really know what to say. Yes. Right now, if the exclusivity contract, if somebody came to me and said, hey, we're going to pay you, and they wouldn't give me $1 million contract. This is the thing. You're going to get a contract proportionate to what you can bring to value to a company. So I wouldn't be getting a $1 million contract to exclusively stream on Twitch for 9 hours a day, right? So let's say they came to me and said, like, if you stream exclusively on here, we'll pay you, $30,000. But you have to stream 9 hours a day. I just wouldn't do it. Why would I do that? Like, I'm already like slowly growing in the way that I'm doing. I would never want to stream for 9 hours a day. That sounds miserable. Because then like I would get the rest of the income. Like I'd maybe make like $10,000 a year from the stream. The rest of it's from like the videos, I think. I think that's a reasonable split. So let's say they said 30. Like, okay, so I get an extra 20 grand a year for the streaming in here, but I'm miserable and I hate myself. Like, no, of course I wouldn't take that. I like being free. I don't want, you have to stream 40 hours a week. Fuck that. I don't want to do that. I've streamed like 20 to 25 hours a week. Why would I take that contract? I'm already on the up. If they're offering me that contract, that means that's an indicator that I'm already continuing to go up. Why would I do that? And like why? He's a millionaire. Like if they said, hey, we'll pay you money if you exclusively stream here, but you can stream however much you want, then I would take it. Like, but why would I do that? Like, because you think this is the thing too. Because a lot of people are in here like, oh, you're not a sellout, and they're like, oh, I respect you, Papa Guy. Don't even respect me. This isn't a sellout take. This is, I guarantee you, if I just have an understanding that if I doubled this stream time that I did, I would hate doing what I'm doing. That's what it is. Like, I just smart business sense. Like, I just factor in mental health as part of it. That's all I'm doing. And if you guys were in the same situation, that you went through the same evolution I did, you would have the same take. You'd be like, why would I double my streaming time when I'm already doing well? I have like pretty reasonable financial freedom. I have work freedom. I get to do things at my own pace. Why would you take that contract that would exponentially like fuck you over? It's just such a it's like it's so normal. Like, if you guys were in this situation where I would like that I'm in, you would do the same thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you would do the exact same thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, and then I don't have to get tied down to some bullshit contract. Like, I like going on vacation with my wife. Like, oh, you make an extra 20 grand. You have to work twice as much, if not more. And then I have to pass work off onto other people now too. So that 20 grand I'm making, I'm just giving to somebody to do editing for me. I mean, how do I benefit from that? My streams get less enjoyable. They get like, there's no benefit from it. There's no benefit from this. I really don't think. Like, okay.
Oh yeah. Hasan didn't start from zero. Who cares if he did? Very few people start really from zero. Most people have advantages, and I'll tell you one thing. If you're able to be talking in this chat, you didn't start from zero either. There's people in the world that don't have an internet connection, and you do. But somehow you're going to be complaining about how you can't fix your life, and those people who don't have an internet connection are working to get one. So you can complain and cry about, oh, Hasan got in, he's like Young Turks, his uncle.
I think there's a difference between you having access to the internet to you having rich, like, millionaire parents in fucking Turkey that were able to give you everything that you could ever want.
Worked there, and all these things can be true. But the reality is that all of us have different degrees of privilege. That's why we're here.
Okay.
Do you really think that somebody without privilege, without any privilege, is going to be sitting at 9 p.m.?
Holy fuck, he's going like full socialist take right now. Holy shit. Like, yes, we all have privileges, but Hasan has exponentially more, okay?
Watching a video game stream? Get the fuck out of here. Come on. What are you thinking? Being alive is a privilege. Oh, yeah, for sure. And also, people can't control, this is the other thing, people can't control the circumstances that they're born under. Whether that means if they're disabled, whether that means if they're white, black, male, female, gay, not gay, straight.
Oh, you can control being gay right now, Asmongold there.
I guess you could say.
Just kidding. I love the gays, guys.
Whether they're poor, whether they're rich, whether they're short, whether they're tall. Okay. So I find it to be odd that we all agree that it's generally not a good idea to make fun of people for things that they can't control. But somehow people have no problem demonizing a person because they had advantages that they also couldn't control either.
But he can control what's happening. The thing about privilege is the more privilege you have, the more control you have over your life. Like, that's number one. This is like sort of dog shit argument. But Hasan has control over the problem he's complaining about. That's the problem. He has control over how much he has to work. That's it. He didn't need to take the exclusivity contract. In fact, it's against his moral value of complaining about how Twitch is the worst thing in the world. So, like, because they're a subsidiary of Amazon, which is like the most abusive company ever. Okay. Is that it? Yeah, listen, here's the thing. This whole situation is dumb, honestly. Like, Hasan is complaining about a problem that he has created himself. He could change, he could still be successful, he could still make tons of money doing it. He doesn't want to change, and he's complaining. And, like, yes, people don't like Hasan, so they took it and they put it on the internet, and that's it's a topic that we got to talk about. If it was somebody smaller, they wouldn't have noticed it because it wouldn't get any views. That's the reality. But Hasan is fucking completely out of touch, and that's why it happened. Asmongold's take's also out of touch. I think that they're both out of touch. Not only, again, they're out of touch for an actual human being who has to work a real job, and they're also out of touch for like the streaming landscape now. They're like grandfathered in. They stream all the time. They think that's what has to happen in order for them to like be successful. It's simply not. You can stream less, and you can have a better relationship with your job. You make millions of dollars. Making the change might make you lose money in the like short term and in the long term, but like overall for the amount of work you're putting in, you're just going to be happier in your life, and you're still going to make a tremendous amount of money. A lot of the money comes now from like videos, putting up videos and getting people to actually tune into your stream. And if you changed yourself, your audience would change with you. You could change down to a smaller streaming time. If they miss the stream, they could look at the VOD. If they don't want to watch the VOD, they could look at the video. There's a million different options. So